Today I want to show you 5 tropical trees, fruit trees, which every one of us can grow inside their home or in pots, and which will fruit for us. And yeah, I hope you like the episode. Let's go in. The first family is the family of the Jaboticabas, Brazilian tree grapes, or the botanical name is Plinia. There are some different species or varieties which will bear fruit faster or better in pots. There is like the Plinia sp red hybrid and Escarlate. Both are super fast fruiting, so we are speaking like from seed in 3 to 5 years. If you are growing them like me in colder climate where you have to bring them inside the house and stuff like that, so 3 to 5, 6 years from seed. It's better if you can get a grafted one. And then is another species which will bear faster fruit. It's the Oreanas. Really nice leaves. The red hybrid and the Escarlate have also really nice leaves. They are crossed with Oreana. It's Plinia cauliflora crossed with Plinia oreana. There came out the red hybrid, and then they crossed it another time with Oreana, so back crossed it, and there we got the Escarlate, which is for me the best tree to have in pots. It's constantly pushing out flowers if it's in the stage of flowering, and yeah, really nice fruit, really good fruit, thinner skin, and not that big seed, so yeah, pretty good to eat, and for sure a tree to get and to cultivate inside the house, and of course during the springtime and summertime to give it outside under a tree. And yeah, pretty cool tree. Then the second family is the family of Eugenias, which I would grow or consider to grow inside a pot, and especially Eugenia uniflora, the Suriname cherry. Pretty cool fruit. There are some varieties which are really good tasting, like the black seals or red seals from the United States, from Florida. You can graft them, so you can make from one species tree a 2 species tree. This branch here is grafted. This branch is a yellow variety seedling, and here I grafted onto it black seals, so I have 2 varieties on one tree. Pretty good varieties. What I heard, the yellow variety is a little bit sweeter, so yeah, we can grow them pretty easy in pots. They are growing strong. This is one of my smallest plants. I have some pretty big ones which are flowering and fruiting here in Austria, in pots of course, and supposedly there are a lot of varieties. There are some really good ones to grow, to eat, and I would say the best 5 varieties from the Eugenia family, but they're pretty small, so I have to grow them bigger. I have 2 other varieties which are fruiting. It's the Pitanga tuba and the Cedar Bay cherry, which I don't like. It's not a pretty good Eugenia to eat. It's growing pretty good in pots. It's flowering constantly the whole time, and it's putting out fruits like 3 times a year, but as I said, it's not a really good fruit. I don't like it. But yeah, let's see which varieties I can fruit. They are growing all really good in pots. It's not important which variety you choose. All are growing really strong in pots, and yeah. But I know they will fruit in pot too. So the third variety or species are Anonas. This one is a grafted one. I grafted it by myself. The rootstock is Anona glabra, and the scion or the variety I grafted on is African Pride, so a Atemoya, pretty good tasting one. I wouldn't recommend every species of Anona to grow in a pot. There are some species that are pretty hard to grow. I would say really hard to grow, like from the Cerrado region, or the more dry loving species, because you overwatered them pretty easy. So I killed like, I don't know, 10 trees, like 3 or 4 different species. I would go for Cherimoyas or Atemoyas, mainly grafted on Cherimoya. So Cherimoya rootstocks are pretty good in pots, or the Anona glabra, the pound apple, is also a really good rootstock, but it isn't that common like the Cherimoyas. And then yeah, I would choose different varieties like the Fino de Yeti or Atemoyas, the African Pride, Gefna, Temoilata, and what there are out there. There are a lot of different species out there. And maybe if you want to grow something more difficult or special, I would go for the Ilamas. They are also, I wouldn't say that easy to grow in pots, but they are easier to grow in pots than other species or varieties. And yeah, so Atemoya or Cherimoyas are very good fruits. I like them a lot. I like also the Guanabana or the Reticulata, but there are more warm loving, I would say, so they aren't easy to grow in pots, so yeah. Then the fourth species which I would choose to grow in pots, or I am going to grow in pots, are Psidiums or guavas. There are different varieties, pretty good varieties, which are growing really strong in pots, really healthy in pots. This, for example, is a pretty rare one. It's a Psidium cauliflora, really rare, so it's a collector item, I would say. But there are other ones like the pink Barbie guava or the white Hawaiian, which you can grow in pots, easy to start from seed. They will bear fruits in like 4 years if you uppot them consistently, and pretty good fruits. They will ripe also inside the house, so yeah, good species to go, easy to grow, easy to maintain. They don't need a lot of fertilizer if you give them at the beginning good soil. And yeah, the fifth species I would go for is not that much a fruit tree or plant. It's a fruit plant, a tropical fruit plant, but it's used more for the ornamental aspect, and it's Monstera deliciosa. And this one is the variety, the normal variegated one. This one is the arbo, so with more white, and they are bearing fruits. They can also bear fruits in pots, so I saw them, or other people had them fruiting in pots, but it's more an ornamental plant. So for me it's always to have something to eat. So here in my garden in Austria I'm also planting vegetables. We have 20-year-old cherry trees, 20-year-old apple trees. So we have planted like 3,000 square meters in fruit trees, and we have a really big veggie patch. So we are growing tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, salads, but also flowering plants. So for me it's very important to have the ornamental aspect in the orchard. And yeah, so also inside the house I don't like have only fruit trees. I need, for me it's very important to have also some ornamental plants. Some. Yeah, I have a pretty big collection of ornamentals too, but this channel is more on the fruit growing side, so let's stay here. Yeah, so this would be the 5 species I would go for to grow in pots. As I said, Plinias, Eugenias, Anonas, Psidiums, and yeah, some ornamental stuff like Monsteras. You can also grow like Campomannesias in pots. It's also a very easy to grow species in pots. I don't know if they fruit in pots because I haven't seen fruiting plants in pots, only planted into soil. But I think they will grow, they will bear fruits also in pots because it's in the Myrtaceae species where the Eugenias, Plinias are in. So, and they are pretty, I would say, on the smaller size of trees. So yeah, they will, for me, I'm pretty sure they will fruit and there will be fruiting trees in pots. But yeah, let's see what the time says. As always, if you like the video, please let me a thumb up. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to my channel please, so it keeps growing. I'm pretty happy with that. We reached 1,700 subscribers, which is pretty big for me. And yeah, share the video if you have friends they are thinking about to start into this hobby. You can also grow fruit trees in tropical climates and then plant them into your garden or your orchard, so maybe you find some video which is helpful. And yeah, we will see us, my friends. Bye.